Hello, this is a video update on our Case Study 1 assignment on September 9. About half of our class completed the Case Study 1 assignment. I think the rest of the class may have been confused about the assignment or had life situations come up that kept them from completing the assignment. Wanted to answer a few questions I received from students by email and also on our Ask the Professor forum to help people with the assignment. First of all, I'll talk about the focus of the assignment, then scholarly articles, then lateness, and a couple other smaller topics. The focus of the assignment is two parts. One is to complete the template, and I'll just go to that area to remind everyone where it is, but you'd go to Content, Week 3, Activities. You can scroll down, but for the assignment there's two parts. You complete a template which gives the definitions, advantages and disadvantages of the candidate selection method. And the document looks like this. So you would download it and then complete it in Word. Then the second part is creating your own template for a 2 to 3 page report where the cover page and the references page do not count toward the number of pages. You would have 2 to 3 pages of text. And when you do the 2 to 3 page report, you're recommending which candidate selection method or methods is best for Southwood. So some of the ideas you could use are all of the selection methods that are in the left-hand column of the template. You could discuss one or several of them, or even an additional method that was not used if you wanted to recommend that. So the focus of this assignment is on determining the best candidate selection method for Southwood and evaluating the essence of what a selection method is. There are several topics for this week that are related to candidate selection, such as recruitment, and all areas of human resource management do have some overlap, and there are interdependencies. So in your report you could mention the connection with recruiting, although the focus should be on the method for evaluating the candidate. Then there were several questions about scholarly articles. The main reference for the case study is the Southwood School case study right here in week 3, and then also the textbook that has most of the answers for the assignment. There's a link to it, just like there is for every week. You could go to week 3, then click on the chapter, but chapter 5 selection will have most of the information to help you with this assignment. So that's a primary scholarly reference. And then at the end of chapter 5, there are several resources listed. Well, you can just scroll to the end. My scrolling's a little slow right now. Let's see here. Well, here's one of the references, but toward the end of the chapter there are several references. Yeah, here on page 145 are 6 references. So that's another area you can look for scholarly references. Then there's also an article listed. If you go to week 3 and then go down to articles, the first article from Open University on effective recruitment and selection would be a good scholarly article. Another great way to look for an article would be by going to the UMC library, and you can start at one search. You could type in search word there, such as candidate selection method. A better place to go, though, will be to go to the research guide for human resource management. You'd go to research guide, then show all, then click on human resource management, and then this limits the one search to the areas of human resource management. So you could type in your search terms here, and that will bring up some good articles. And you could have also selected the checkbox for full text. I think that's would be a better way to do it. It's coming up kind of slow right now. But while that's coming up, I'll mention one other area you can look for information, which is in professional organizations. Those would also be a scholarly reference. So you can go to content, course resources, then additional resources mentioned in class right here. And here are several professional organizations that you can go to look for additional references. So this was the search that came up for candidate selection method within the human resource management area of UMC Library OneSearch, and it brings up 3,900 articles. So in terms of lateness, just wanted to talk about the policy on lateness. So far, only half of the students have submitted their assignments for case study 1, and I think only 7 of our 21 students have made their first posting for the week 3 discussion. The policy at UMUC is that a student must notify the professor if they're going to be late. Then it's up to each professor to determine whether or not there is a penalty. Although if there is a penalty, they should announce it beforehand. So since I didn't announce a penalty in the past, there's going to be no penalty for if case study 1 is submitted late for anyone. Although for case study 2 and 3, I am going to add a 5% late penalty. But if there is an emergency that comes up, you can let me know. But if you just put off doing it to the night before the assignment's due and the assignment's too difficult, that would not be an acceptable excuse. Then I'll also type up this information in the announcements and add it to the syllabus, so that way it's all the information agrees in case anyone's confused. And then another question came up about how many documents to submit to the submission area for the assignment. It's best to submit 2 documents, and if everyone so far has submitted 2 documents, they submitted a template document and they've submitted a report document. I'm not going to click on this area because it'll show just everyone's who submitted their assignment. I don't want anyone to feel bad for not having submitted their assignment yet. But when you go to the submission area, you'll submit 2 different files, one for the template, one for the report. And then the last question that someone asked was whether or not there should be APA references for the template and for the report. So the APA references are not required for the templates, although 3 references are required for the report. And again, the easiest way to find references would be to use the text, use the one article for week 3, and then you could go to some of the links within the textbook, chapter 5. Then go to some of the professional organizations, and again, the HRMN area of OneSearch on the UMUC library. So hopefully this answers most of everyone's basic questions about case study 1, and this gives you some motivation. If you have additional questions, please send me an email and I'll reply as quick as I can. Thank you.